Life is one problem after another. When you solve one problem, you create room for another problem. So if you ever want to be happy in life, don't ask for less problems, ask for better problems. So today we're going to talk about how to upgrade your current problems. So let me give you an example of a problem that you create every time, whatever it is that you do, you solve one problem, you create another problem. So let's use an example of you go to school. So you decide you want to upgrade your knowledge and you want to go do your MBA, right? So you've solved one problem by signing up, but you've created another problem because now you've got exams, now you've got to study, now you've got to make time, now you can't hang out with your friends as much. So now you have that as a problem. And then there's another problem where you decide to open a Facebook account. So now you can connect with people you were in high school with, so you solved that problem. People you never knew, you'd wanted to stay in touch with them, but you never did. So now you found them on Facebook. But you created another problem. Now you have this space that allows you to spend the next 2 hours clicking one link, going down another rabbit hole, seeing one thing or another and feeling bad about yourself because perhaps you don't have the car that this guy who used to be your desk mate has, or the beautiful or handsome husband that this person who you had a crush on has, or whatever it is. So now you have these insecurities that now come up. So while you solved one problem, you've now created another problem. And guess what? You also have to see opinions and views of people you don't really like. And now you have to read all their political opinions and stuff like that because you created the Facebook account, right? So solving one problem always creates another problem. You buy a bigger house, you now have to maintain it. You buy a car, you need to buy insurance, you need to put fuel, you need to be careful on the road, you need to make sure that you maintain that car. So having one problem or solving one problem creates room for another problem and the next problem. But there's some problems that are really good to have. And the thing that I've found is a lot of the times people have small problems and you become really petty when you have small problems. That's when you find somebody in the supermarket going off on someone on the cashier because the system hung. Or they're at a restaurant and they start insulting the wait staff because of something happened, they got the order wrong, or they were not happy with something, and they go off into a 10-minute fit about that problem. That's because they don't have proper problems. They have insignificant problems. So you need to upgrade your problems so you don't end up being petty and getting pissed off at everything that happens to you. Somebody cuts in front of you in traffic and it's like, oh my God, everybody who has a minute has to hear about this the situation that was a few seconds, but now you're gonna talk about it for the next 1 hour. Or something happens to you at work and you're like, oh my goodness, it's just this huge, it's blown out of proportion because you don't have big enough problems. You haven't upgraded your problems. The thing that helps me upgrade my problems is really to look at my problems for what they are. Because when you're going through a problem, you're kind of caught up in that whole spiral of worrying or thinking about it. But look at that problem and ask yourself, what would happen when I solve this problem? What other problem would be created by solving this problem? Is that a better problem than the one I currently have? Or am I just caught up in this spiral where I'm moving, ping-ponging between small problems and my life becomes small as a result? Because that's what happens. If you're used to dealing with small problems, your life will never be grand. So go find yourself some really good problems to solve. Businesses to start, solutions to provide for the environment or for the greater good of humanity. Not this small problem that you're caught up ping-ponging between one small problem and another. And always ask yourself, if you did solve that one problem, what does it create room for? So if you're thinking of solving the problem, let's say you want to get a raise. So now when you get that raise, what's the next problem that's going to bring? You're probably going to have to do something in line with your new raise. You're going to have to pay more taxes. So is it a worthwhile problem for you? Or are you just focusing on solving a problem that then leads to another problem that you don't really want to have? So that's something that you can look at. And also look at really solving problems that are outside yourself. that are not self-centered. So it's not always just about you and always about your problems and always about the things that are happening to you. How about looking out there and saying, hey, there are lots of children who are suffering without food, without parents, without love and care. Perhaps go donate your time in a children's home. Solve a bigger problem than yourself. Clean your environment, clean your doorstep and clean your neighbor's doorstep. Instead of deciding to go on a rant because their doorstep's not clean or their garden's not manicured, just go out there and do it. Solve a bigger problem beyond yourself. So that's what I mean by saying upgrade your problem. Don't just look at problems and see them as bad things. The problem, the difference between a problem and struggling is the fact that you struggle because of the story you tell yourself about the problem. It's not the problem. A bigger car is not a problem. But if you tell yourself the story that a bigger car now means more insurance, now means, now I've got to spend more on fuel, now I've got to do this, or I've got a bigger house, oh my goodness, now I've got to furnish it. That's now creating room for suffering. Right? So you get what I mean. And the third thing I do to upgrade my problems is to study. Standing on the shoulders of the giants who've solved the problems that you have right now before you and written a book about it. And I can guarantee you, for any problem that you have, somebody has written a book about it, a blog post or something, or done a YouTube video. Because guess what? None of us are that special. Our problems are not that special. We think we're very unique, but our problems are very similar. And you'll find that whatever problem you're dealing with, if you search hard enough, you'll actually find the answer. And we live in a fantastic age where you can do this at your fingertips. But I do love to read, so I go out and I look for books as well that help to expand my mind. Because when you expand your mind, then you get better problems. You upgrade your problems. And you get problems that are actually worth solving. So that's the thing. And study doesn't have to come just from reading. Travel. I love to travel because part of travel is studying. You learn new things. You learn about new cultures. You build your tolerance and your patience. Travel is studying. So look at ways in which you can study. There are many more ways out there that you can study. Give me some ideas below this video. Just let me know, what are some of the other ways that you like to nourish your mind and feed your soul? And I would love to borrow some of those ideas from you, because we really, like, when I look at some of the pettiness that goes on online, it just tells me that we are so focused on dealing with small problems. Like somebody tweeted something that didn't make you happy, or somebody looked at you funny, or somebody said something that you didn't agree with, or you have a political view and you'd like everybody to know how smart you are on that political view. Like, those are small problems. When you look at solving big problems, you're looking at solving problems that really make a big difference, even in your life and the lives of other people around you. Cool? Awesome. So let me know in the comments, what are some of those ways in which you nourish your mind? I would love to hear about them. Even if it's reading, even if it's blogging, even if it's journaling. Like, how do you nourish your mind and help yourself get those ideas and solve those problems? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.